Can I help you? Ash, what are you? Ash, stop. Will you stop it? Don't claw on it. You've got cat scratch. Quit. I see you. We are doing WFTTWTAF. I'm going to be organized about this. The track list. I've heard the whole track list at some point, whether I've been paying attention to it. I know very intimately Baby Blue, Mum, and Place in Me, and Comedown. That's probably it for like lyrics I know. I mean, I honestly couldn't even tell you a lyric of Bloodline, A Beautiful Dream, Diamond, Repeat, I doubt even Motion. So we're doing it. We're doing the things. I think Luke Hemmings' lyrics are usually above me for the most part. Like, I feel like most lyrics, I can be like, yeah, this means that, you know, like think through. Luke Hemmings is too poetic. Ash just knocked down a light. Okay. We're jumping right into it. Oh, I love Mum. Mum's probably my favorite song on the album, actually. I'm not doing intros anymore. We're just like jumping into shit. We're just going. I've never seen this music video either, so we're just...
Focus, moments that I keep.
I'm sorry, the only thing I could think while he was walking down the street was he is so fucking tall.
Something for the pain and something so asleep. Won't you come fair?
And that intro, that little dun 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 dun, what a fucking start to an album. Like, I listen to this music and I'm like, maybe I don't want to be making rock music. Maybe I want to be making this music. Like, it just, this, that.
Only air that I breathe. Won't you comfort me? Take the fear out of me.
I think this is the first time I've really listened to all of the little intricacies in the production. Like, there are so many layered like synths and little production aspects that just make you feel like you're like in space. Like, it feels like Harry Styles' Satellite. It feels like listening to Brandon Flowers' solo project for the first time. That's what Starting Line feels like. Sir, that was a big jump. What the fuck? Oh, okay, that's what we're doing.
Something like an old I can never keep moving on.
I love hearing their, which we can only do this with Luke's and Ashton's. I've not heard Super Bloom. I love hearing the words that they use in their individual writing and then listening to Five Sauce again and being like, oh, that is a Luke-ism. That's like, and he loves the word omen. Like, Bad Omen has got like a Luke written all over it.
I wake up every morning with the years ticking by. I'm missing all these memories, maybe they were never mine. I feel the walls are closing, I'm running out of time. I think I missed the good at the starting
To me, it's the perfect album opener for this album. If the chorus was any bigger, I just think it's big enough to let the whole album build as a whole. Like, dynamically, I just think it's so well thought out. I want to die. It's so good. Imagine this being your debut solo project. Like, what? You can't tell me shit after that.
Take me alive, make me alive, take me alive. Don't look away until it's gone.
He has such little steps for such a tall person. The song, I feel like you can't listen to it without knowing that it's the first song on the album because the whole song feels unresolved. Yeah, that's a fucking great starting song. I mean, Ash, hey, I can't see. Stop it! I'm not ready for you yet. In and out of focus, moments that I keep, something for the pains and something so I sleep. Won't you comfort me more in the air that I breathe? I mean, that to me is like the memories that shape you. They're not always at the forefront of your mind, but they're like that's what shapes you as a person and like gives you the warm fuzzy feeling when you think back on them. Especially with 5 Sauce 5, Luke has explored with his lyrics a lot of feeling like he like missed his childhood, like he ran out of time, like he looks up and he's like almost 30 and he's like, I've forgotten birthdays, life has just flown by. And did I miss something? Did I miss something essential? Did I miss an important part? When he says I'm missing all these memories, maybe they were never mine. Like he wasn't there to make them. He was making music. He didn't get a childhood, you know? What specifically does he feel like he's missed? Is it family stuff? Maybe it's that. Maybe it's not even professional things. Take me alive, make me a liar, take me alive, don't look away until it's gone. And now he feels like he has to like hyper focus on every situation, otherwise that he's going to look back and think that one escaped him as well. You listen to Starting Line, you're like, we're about to get real fucking deep real quick, which is hilarious because if you've ever watched an interview of Luke Hemmings, he can be serious for about 4 seconds before he has to make a joke because he's uncomfortable about being too serious. And Starting Line is setting up the most introspective album of all time. It's just funny to me. Like, this man can't be serious for shit. Okay, Saigon. It's just it's so vibey. So vibey.
No sense of time when facing the things we turn away from.
I, too, when facing the things we turn away from, if you give yourself, I don't need to explain this to you. Like, if you think deductively for just a second, like, when facing the things we turn away from, like, when you like get face to face with the things that you ignore, that you push away, that you run from, that you don't want to deal with, like, how do we act? And so Starting Line is like, I've missed all of these moments in my life, and now I feel like I have to hyper focus on all of these important moments with my loved ones, otherwise I'm gonna look back and those memories were never gonna be mine. And Saigon is like, okay, now I'm facing the shit that made me uncomfortable like that I said that I was going to do, like I said I was going to do in Starting Line, and now fucking what?
Pulling me under, declining rewind, board up my windows, trying to revive.
Luke Hemmings, I feel like there are like levels of songwriting that is like, be very for real, like you're being very candid, you're being very obvious, this is what is happening, there is no hiding the ball. An example of that song is like from 5 Sauce Land, is like, you don't go to parties, I don't know who I'm looking for here, but you're not here because you don't go to these things anymore. All right, that's like very like literal. We know what we're talking about. We don't have to do any lyric interpretation. There's like a middle ground of like, we're using metaphors, we're using similes, but there's like some poetic interpretation, but then there's the middle ground of like, come on, it's not that's hard to interpret, like Carousel, I feel like is like probably a middle ground. And then everything Luke I know, but just in 5 Sauce Land. And then there's everything Luke writes, which is me with sticky notes on a fucking wall and a bunch of strings being like, every line is something I have to unpack, which I love. But I feel like that's why I haven't sat down and digested the whole album yet, because I'm like, it's going to be like I'm sonically doing shrooms when I really dive into the lyrics of this fucking album. And that is what it's feeling like. I've never done shrooms. Board up these windows, like he's like, so to me, the whole song, like, we know Saigon, there's this other person, he's like chasing the way that he was with this other person at Saigon, at this very like specific place with this very specific moment in their relationship. And then in the second verse, he's like, actually, I'm boarding up the windows, like, never mind. Which Luke explores a lot in his lyricism as well, like in Sounds Good, Feels Good. It is like this complete push and pull between Luke being like, I know who I am, I'm never going to change, but actually maybe I do want to change. Well, never mind, I'm not going to change.
When facing the things we turn away
I love that little synth. Dun, 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 dun. I love. So good. I am a bridge girly too. I love a bridge. Allison Swift is my religion. This not having a bridge, this song fits so well and gives it very like jam band vibes, like Tame Impala vibes. Like it does not. And then you're just sitting here in this bridge area where we're doing these vocalizations, having these little guitar riffs, and you're just like processing like at the turn, and then it's saying turn away, like just fight it, turn away, turn around again, just run from it and ignore it, and we'll deal with it later. It's a future us problem.
The way we were in Saigon. Oh, it's split apart until there's nothing left of us to carry on.
Oh, and just the little cry, carry on. I can't sing still.
The things we turn away from.
Up there's the live Diamonds performance. So cover to cover, we're at these lands. Can you remember? No sense of time. No sense of time. Like that's just, they were in Saigon and everything was perfect. You didn't have to think about anything. There was no what's next. There's none of that. But now we're having to deal with the hard shit. Via Apple Music, this song was inspired by a trip to Vietnam and I took with my fiance, and both of our mother. I didn't know they took it with their moms. This entire album was written in the moments of stillness that quarantine forced, and I spent those months facing the things I turned away from, the good, the bad, my regrets, needing to get help. Through all those times, I kept thinking about how euphoric that trip was and how I wanted to keep chasing those highs I felt. I reflected on the sad truth that sometimes we can't appreciate the best moments of our life until we're past. They've passed us by and are out of reach. Yeah, so I think, so starting line is like, I didn't get him in the first place because I think I missed the gun. And then Saigon is like, okay, here is that moment. I did get one and I can't capture that feeling again because you just got to let him go eventually. Oh, it's so, yeah. This is why I've not listened to this album straight through before, because it's a fucking mind fuck. Oh, that's a purposeful glitch. It's giving Wildflower vibes. Yeah, for a second I was like, wait, what's going on with my computer? And like, no, the glitch is purposeful. You guys know I'm a hoe for an album with a narrative top to bottom. And even if they didn't intend for there to be a narrative from top to bottom, my stupid head will put a narrative from top to bottom. Like if you have an album, I'm assuming you've thought about the story from track one to the last track. And I love that shit. So the first one, starting line, I'm thinking about the moments I never had. Saigon, I'm thinking about the moments I have had and I can't get back. And then Motion is like, I can't stop to think about the moments I never had or that I had and won't get back because I don't have time. It just keeps moving. And if I stop, I'll miss the next one is so far what it's feeling to me. Why is he drinking milk out of a gallon? I not one other question except for why the gallon of milk. And I'm like, what? You just had that on you? And you're like, yeah, this is the one that we got to pull the gallon of milk out for? I've never seen anybody look sexy drinking out of a gallon of milk, but like that's as close as it got. Like Sierra had on her list, like must look sexy drinking out of full gallon of milk. I feel like, here's my thought, and I'm reading very far into this, and I'm giving myself permission to read very, very far into this shit, okay? Because that's where we're at. Hi, baby. To me, the scene of him walking away with like the milk, like just in complete disarray, is like how he felt during quarantine. Like his life was falling apart. He was stuck. He was forcibly stuck in one place in stillness of time for an extended amount of time. He felt like a slob, drinking out of a fucking gallon of milk. There's junk fucking everywhere. What is more just unhinged than walking to the fridge and grabbing like a full gallon jug of something and just drinking out of it? You know, like. And then that is the hymn that he's refused to encounter during all of the motion of real life, like during all the movement and during the times that he couldn't be still and he couldn't be introspective. And now he's like looking through the doors, like, who's there? I'm fucking like just wandering around my house in my PJs with this gallon of milk. And here is the things I've been turning away from. Here you are. He said, nope, bye. I said, I'm not ready for that shit yet. Absolutely not. When facing the things we turn away from. It fits right there as he's turning away from the person from the end of the door. Bum, 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 he just did such a good job keeping a theme from top to bottom with this album. Like, he uses the synths, but no song feels like it's the same as the other one. You know, like, all the elements are there, like the synthiness, like the very quick melodies, the wordplay, but none of the songs feel repeated. And it just, that is 1,000% where they did the acoustic version of Teeth. And we're gonna, it literally has to be. I thought that as soon as it popped up. Teeth, Teeth from the Vault. Is that like, that's the Shed. Yes. Let me duplicate this and then go back. All right, that's the milk. It's the same. The literal same place. That's the ledge right there. Right there. When did they film? So this was just a year ago that this came out, and this was a year ago. They totally probably filmed these at the same time. He's like, I'm Taylor Swift. I can drop some fucking Easter eggs too. With every come down, I love there's Five Sauce is so good at like dropping the little lyrics throughout the whole thing. So with every come down, nowhere to go, but then this whole album ends on come down, and that's like the resolution of like, actually maybe these come downs are okay. The simple silence is all I know. I'm trying to leave. All this running in motion. Time slips by until you're lost in your mind. Who are you going to find? So who are you going to find when you're being introspective with your own thoughts? And then at that point, he turns the corner in the music video and finds like the little like shrouded in silk Luke. Yeah. Like this, like he's just so good. It's a whole song about a very simple concept, like about being alone with your own thoughts. And like, who really are you when you are alone with your own thoughts? And he makes a whole song out of it, and it's so beautiful and artsy, and it gives you something to think about the whole way, but you can sum it up in just like one sentence. Place in Me. Does this have a music video that I need to be aware of? Place in Me, it might be my favorite song on here. I don't know. Now that I'm listening like with lyrics, I'm like, I don't know what my favorite song. To me, the album is more in phases. Like, I see starting line, Saigon, motion. That's like point one. Like, that's like stage one. They're all kind of about the same. They're about like having these moments and memories and thoughts, and like, what do you do with them in the moment? Did you miss it in the first place? Did you ever have it? Like Saigon, can you capture it again? Motion, who are you really when you dive deep into these memories and these thoughts? And then Place in Me, Baby Blue, repeat, Mum is like section 2 in my head. And then Slip Away, Diamonds, Beautiful Dream, Bloodline, Calm Down are like section 3 in my head. Like, that's how this album works in my brain, which is, I don't know if that makes any sense. I every time I'm editing these album like reactions and reviews, I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Who are you? What are you even talking about? Oh, they cried. He played her this one and they cried. Everybody needs a Sierra.
Roll it on. I never meant you any harm.
That's so funny that you say that, because Place in Me to me is like a letter. I've always visualized it as like a crumpled letter that you wrote in the morning before you left somebody's house, and you just left it on the kitchen table and were like, it is what it is. Like it's in your hands now, and then you walk away and then you never talk to that person about what you said in the letter again. That's probably like gives you way too much insight into the romanticized inner workings of my brain, but that's what Place in Me is.
Call me in the morning, yeah, I'm sorry that I let you down. I'm so apathetic, it's pathetic, but I need you now.
That is my favorite line he's ever written. I think I'm so apathetic, it's pathetic, but I need you now. Like, think about that. I'm just so blasé. I'm just so whatever. And I know it's pathetic, but now in this moment, like after I acted like that, after I was that to you, I need you. Like I can honestly say after stepping away from it and like getting out of my ego that I fucking need you.
Call me in the morning, yeah, I'm sorry that I let you down.
This is the appropriate way to use a vocoder too. Like vocoders can be so easily fucked up. They can be overused and they can sound tacky. But in this one, it's just lightly sitting behind the melody as a harmony, and it just, yeah, this song is like fucking perfect. Like, what do you imagine writing this and walking out of the studio and being like, fuck, like I did that.
But I need you now.
Just little changes to the melody that just up the ante so much. Perfect outro. The perfect outro. Oh my gosh, and the visualizer. It's a galaxy. Oh my god.
Don't you move? Can we just stay? Can we start over? Don't fade away. 'Cause you'll always have a place in me. You'll always have a place in me.
You get done and you finish that song and you don't know the resolution. Like, you don't know if that person accepted the apology. You don't know if they called him in the morning. You don't know. Like, it's just you'll always have a place in me no matter the conclusion of this relationship. And then Baby Blue, like in my head, I know when I see him live and if he plays Place in Me and not Baby Blue back to back, like my brain will break a little bit because those two songs are paired just immediately together. It makes so much sense together. What's wrong? Willow, get his head out of your mouth.
Cool, baby blue, drowning my eyes. So it seems that I don't wanna dive too deep. Oh, I'm never coming back, never coming back. Lungs filled with smoke.
I think Baby Blue's the best song in the album. John Hill, Sammy Wet, Sierra Deaton, Luke. Yep. Like Baby Blue is one that I feel like I know every word to. I love the song. I have not thought too much about the lyrics because they really are very over my head. Luke Hemmings is probably the most beautiful man on the face of the planet. Yeah. And Sierra Deaton is probably the most beautiful woman on the face of the planet. It's just objectively true.
Never gonna last, never gonna last. I don't wanna share, I don't wanna stay, I don't wanna feel it, take it all away.
And it's not just because of the Wonderland line. It's very Alice in Wonderland to me. Like, just the whole vibe. It feels dissociative. Like, from the production to the melodies, the lyrics, everything. You're just floating. It feels floaty. I love water. That's like a weird thing about me. I just like could just live in a pool or the ocean forever. And this is just like, I want to, that's just, that looks like heaven. This feels like he found Saigon. Like Saigon, it has so many production elements of Saigon, like the really drawn out pew 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 pew. Like Saigon felt unresolved, and I don't mean like in a bad way. I mean like the whole song. It's like I'm chasing. It's cyclical. I can't get there. We're never gonna find it. Sometimes you have to let go. And then Baby Blue, it's like actually this was what Saigon felt like, and we finally found it. I never want to leave. It has so many production callbacks to Saigon that I think he was like, I want a Saigon part 2, and it's Baby Blue. Just a floating loop. I'm going to be honest, this one I have never one time, I've listened to it, I've never one time, like, I couldn't tell you a lyric of this.
This is all we are, we are. This is all we are. You seem so damn familiar, but I just can't place the name. You're staring in the mirror, but your face won't stay the same. Been waiting for so long, but the moment never came. If life's a game of inches, how'd you get miles away?
Yeah, if life's a game of inches, how'd you get miles away? Like, yeah, you can't think of that one too long. He's singing that song to the self he is facing in the mirror that he doesn't recognize out. Oh, like that. Well, then, yeah, like the himself that he found during motion, almost like the one that you're like, who do you find? See, that's why it feels like all like they just all feel like they go together. Like Place in Me goes with Starting Line, Baby Blue goes with Saigon, now Repeat goes with Motion. Like the motion, like who are you? Who do you find when you're alone with your thoughts and you're running through your mind and your memories and all of that? Well, this is who you find, like this person that you don't recognize in Repeat. Ah!
Now your heart is over.
Y'all know how I feel about some strings or some string synth things. Charlie Day connecting that is me with any Luke Hemming lyric literally at all. It's just like the fucking, and that cut, he said come down there and that's the last song of the fucking album and just pulling some shit again. Yes, I know I sound insane like all the time. I'm like, this song goes with that one. Like he must have intended it. One day I'll do an interview like, yeah, I watched some like reactions like, guys, actually all these were completely one-off songs, and like, but the way you made it sound so much better.
You seem so damn familiar, but I just can't place the name. You're staring in the mirror, but your face won't.
I think that synth holds the whole time. I don't think it even lets up one time, like if you listen to that.
So damn familiar, but I just can't place the name. You're staring in the mirror, but your face won't stay the same. Waiting for so long,
Still holding.
but the moment
Synth in the background, still going hard. Very repeat of it. Here in the shadow of all that's said and done, the love that you borrowed in the morning's come and gone. You run from tomorrow, but the madness catches up. Like, it's a future me problem. Like, I don't have to deal with it. I feel that, like, you're right. Like, I'm like, we're just not going to get there yet. We've been waiting for so long, but the moment never came. If life's a game of inches, how'd you get miles away? The only one I don't get is the been waiting for so long, but the moment never came. Like, I guess the moment never came to, like, sit down and find myself. I don't know. You bet on the sorrow. Now your heart is overrun. You fear what you don't know. Tell me, what have I become? I mean, that one is like, you fear what you don't know, but in this case is like, I don't know myself, and that's what we're scared of. Leave me in the dark. Leave me in the dark. Tell me what to see. Tell me what to see. Let it fall apart. Let it fall apart. Live it on repeat. And so just over and over again, he's left in the dark. He doesn't know what's next. He doesn't know who he is. Tell me what to see. He just lets kind of like life taste like motion. It's just like watching the world go around him. It falls apart and then it starts over. He's waiting for some song for him to recognize himself again, but the moment never. Oh, yes. Yeah. I've been waiting for so long, but the moment never came. I've been waiting to recognize myself in the mirror, but I never did. This song is literally that. Yeah, you're right. Like this. Oh my God. It is. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Like this is the Luke in the mirror. So like when facing the things we turn away from, the thing, like one of the things at least that we turn away from is yourself. The one that you don't recognize in the mirror. My head's going to explode. This is a lot. And this is more self-reflection than I've done in a long time. I need to schedule another therapy appointment. It's cry time. Who's ready for mom? Repeat's dead center of the album, and that is the album cover is Repeat. That literally is what it is, and the whole point of the album is Repeat. So then that begs to the question of in my world, I've been splitting this into like 3 sections. Actually, is the album just 2 halves? It's like the first part is retrospective, and the second part is so from starting line through Baby Blue, it is retrospective. And then Mum on to Comedown is prospective. Oh, this one is. What did I say? Place in Me was my favorite. I don't know. This might be my favorite song on the album. I mean, this is ethereal. This is religious. This is more than I've ever felt at church.
I'm sorry. I stopped calling. Don't know what the hell I was calling.
I've never noticed that before. The whole like glitch right there. The da, 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 da. Listen to that. It's like a whisper.
I'm so heavy, jump into my ocean. Can't you see me sinking? Love that fear of falling. Don't you know I'm too young? Can't you hear me calling?
This, to me, 2 thoughts. Number 1 thought, the lack of a pre-chorus there makes that chorus fucking, I mean, visceral. It just hits you in the face. Because you're like prepping for a pre-chorus before you get to the punchline. Nope, just boom, right to the forehead. Second of all, the line, I'm too young, can't you hear me calling you? I don't have... I have an interesting relationship with my parents. I'm very, very aware that they love me. We have never been very open with each other, and it has been a constant battle in our relationship of them telling my siblings, like, well, Alex never reaches out, and me telling my siblings, well, it's not my job. I'm the kid. They're my parents. Like, aren't they supposed to call me? Aren't they supposed to reach out for me? So this song, I don't know if that's what it means, but it has always meant that to me. That's what this whole song to me feels like, is like, I don't have the bandwidth to reach out, but I'm your kid. Like, that's what you're supposed to do that. Do with that what you will, but.
It's in my head, I'm shining it out. Can you hear me? All the things I did, just drown it out,
guitar like is so like the main melody da, 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 on the synth, and then the guitar comes in and mimics it. Oh, it's so good. And like, no, the apology for sorry I stopped calling, in my head the calls are, hey, how are you? This is what we did today. The weather's like this. Those are the calls that he's referring to not having anymore. But then the drowning is like, I'm so heavy, jump into my ocean. Like, it's like, now I actually need you. Shit is actually hitting the fan. I actually need help. And you're not hearing me. Like, you didn't hear it through the check-in calls. Yeah, except the check-in calls. Gates of heaven, you hear that guitar. To me, the lack of third chorus is so fucking intentional, though. It's because the whole song is like, can't you hear me? And then no third chorus is like, I don't have the breath anymore to yell for you anymore. You know, like, I am wasting more energy yelling for you and trying to get across that I'm drowning, when in reality, he's never saying the words to her in the first place. But it really is like, in my own life, this whole song feels like this disconnect of neither person is the bad person. The check-in calls happen, and then he stops initiating them. And it's like, well, fuck, like, I call all the time, like, but I'm your kid, you should call. But these check-in calls, they've stopped happening. So now I'm on my head that you don't actually care. And I'm actually here drowning. I'm in my room. I'm sobbing. I'm drinking too much, whatever it is. Like, I'm falling apart. And you can't see it, but like, how would she know? You know, like, it's this expectation that your mom has this sixth sense that they should just sense when their child is falling apart. But but like, he's so fed up with the check-in calls and of like no real substance and her not saving him. But then on the other side, she's like, well, he's not calling anymore. Maybe he wants space. Like, I don't want to suffocate him. And then now he's just sitting alone in his room screaming for his mom. And she's probably like, I don't want to do too much. Like, and then silence. And then, so then do you hear right there, like the droplets of water? The echo. Like, he's yelling in a room and it's just coming back to him. Through repeat, he's like, I don't know what I am. I missed all these life, like, these huge life moments because I was busy, because things were in motion. I had these awesome moments with my mom, like with my mom and Sierra's mom. That was wonderful, and I really missed that time, and I'm looking for it again. And now I'm here and I'm drowning, but I don't even know what I'm drowning for. I'm really good about when I get real introspective about music. Like, when I'm like in a deep lyric analysis, I don't get too emotional because I just think about it. It's usually the songs that are like Louis Capaldi, like, well, I wish you the best, but I'm lying. Like, those are the ones that like will make me cry. And these, like, I'll just dissociate long enough to like logically and analytically wade through them, and then later when I hear them, I'm like, fuck yeah, now I know what that shit means. And then that's when I cry. Sad time.
'Cause I was trusting in you before I even knew your name. Fading, fading, fading with the breath you take.
So, like, consensus, is this song a letter to himself introspectively, or to a romantic partner, or to a friend? Thoughts. I want your thoughts. Because I have my preconceived thoughts, but I think it comes from a place of a borderline personality brain.
See your southern heart hiding behind a city face, drowning out the fires as I'm lying here awake. I can feel you slip away like I knew you would.
Yeah, I think it's about a romantic partner, about like that moment of like, I've told you that I'm too much, and you're not gonna like it when you know me. But the line, I put my trust in you before I even knew your name. I mean, fuck me, dude. Like, it's like you see that person and you just like feel in your gut like that person is going to be my person for at least some piece of my life. And I gave this person so much trust to not leave me high and dry, but once they know me, there's no way they won't leave me high and dry. No, these were my thoughts. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't just projecting myself onto these lyrics, because it is very where it is in the album too. It's like we've addressed the situation with mom. We're facing that. Saigon was kind of like, can we just go back to when it was perfect and euphoric and very escapist? And now it's like, fuck, we're actually like, she's getting to know me, like we're facing some real shit. Should I escape again? I'm looking for escape routes, aka Saigon. Like,
Yeah, I lied to you like a promise on New Year's Day. You saw me, I got nowhere to hide. Yeah, the worst in me is racing all around your mind, drowning out the fires as I'm lying here awake.
this is also the clearest his vocals are production wise through this whole album. Like through up to this point, we've had vocoders, we've had like an echo, we've had heavy reverb, but here his vocals cut like a fucking knife. Like they just cut. And I think that is like, here lying at night, like in my fears, it's the clearest my thoughts have been this entire time.
Now I'm looking for escapes like I knew I would.
Yes, like desperate, like you're panicking, you're like, it's gonna slip away, but I'm clinging onto it. The harder I cling, the more it slips away, but like the more I am manifesting that it's gonna slip away, the harder I'm holding on. Like it's just this never ending repeated cycle.
Hey. Slip away, slip away, slip away. Drowning out the fires as I'm lying here awake. I can feel you slip away like I knew you would.
Yeah, I mean, I've have a newfound appreciation for that song. Like the progression is perfect, and lyrically, like through Five Sauce, he explores so much of like past mistakes, like affecting who you are now. Are you actually going to change when you face those mistakes? Every time I read these lyrics, like a lyric of one of these songs, I find a new favorite one. Fallen, fallen, fallen in unfamiliar space, because I was drenched in you before I even knew your name. You're kidding. Like, that's like, to me, that's like when in my brain, in a borderline personality brain, I don't know, maybe it's different for some people, but I'm on borderline personality TikTok and learning like that other people think the way that I do. Like when you fall in lust with somebody, it's like I am, like they are all encompassing, and like that's what it feels like I was drenched in you before I even knew your name. Fading, fading, fading with the breath you take, see your southern heart hiding behind a city face. Like, so she's faking it too. She's like faking who she actually is, and she's faking how soft and kind and you know, hoping that's what southern means. I don't know. Drowning out the fires as I'm lying here. Wait, he has so much to do with water here too. Like he loves the water metaphors. Like like I'm in the ocean and I'm screaming like I'm too heavy from the water. But I'm drowning out the fires. It's actually helping me keep I feel like I need strings and post-it notes. Yeah, I know. Like, and it's like he starts off so soft and then he goes full on belt and scream. Like, it's just also intriguing to me. Produced by Sammy Witt or Witty. How comfy you have to be with a fucking co-writer and producer to get this fucking honest with them. Like, I don't know if I know anybody that I would do that with yet, but like, I mean, that's wild. Like, you really had to like just really bear it all. All right, let's go to Diamonds. I feel like we've stripped that one down as far as we can.
So much colder than I ever wanted to be. So as far, I'm on the way out, losing the dream. I feel it crash down on me. There's some things they don't never know. Past the limit, it's come and gone. Watch the bright eyes as they slowly sink into sleep. And that same old silence that I've come to know.
This same old silent, let me look at the lyric. Like, this song to me encompasses all of the past songs. How far is far? Are we too deep in? Like, please see the end of repeat. Like, is like, okay, have I had it on repeat too long to get out now? How dark is dark? I need to see it. Like, that literally is like the outro of repeat. How far is far? Are we too deep in? How dark is dark? I need to see it. I'm on the way out, losing the dream. I feel it crash down on me. Caught in the madness. It's holding on me. Is this the way it will always be? Okay, that same old silence that I've come to know. The silence that we were scared of in the beginning of the album, in Starting Line, in Saigon Emotion. Every time I find it when there's nowhere left to go. So he can only find that when he's forced to. Like when the world is forced quarantine. Like when the world is forced him to stop and think about it. But yeah, and so far the rest of the album is like, I am here, I'm stuck, it's never gonna be resolved. But then the chorus is, I'm on the way out, but then I lose the dream. I feel it crash down on me, caught in the madness. But like, the question is this the way it will always be? It doesn't feel like a manifestation of like, this is it, oops. Like, it's like the thought for the first time, like, that it's not the way it will almost always be. You know what I mean? And like, if you're not listening, you can't pick up that that's what he's saying. Like, you have to know that that's what the lyrics are in the outro. And I think that is I don't know. I've never listened before. Does it get louder as it goes out? The outro of these songs too, like, I don't know if you've ever listened to this album. I've not, and I'm asking. Yeah, he's just asking. I agree. I think it's just the posing of the question is the indication that this time is different. But I wonder if you listen to this album, like with and you shorten the time between each songs, if these outros act anything like transition tracks, if they thought about that. Because I am a transition track girly. Like, Lovely Little Lonely by The Maine. Like, I love transition tracks on that shit. I think that adds so much. I love an album that you cannot play on shuffle. Love it. So I'm interested to now listen in the car, just like while I'm doing life, if these outros kind of bridge gaps between them. Diamonds feels hopeful. Like, musically, it feels hopeful. It feels like Starting Line, but somehow Starting Line feels unresolved in like a nervous way, and this feels unresolved in a hopeful way. And I'm sure that there is somebody who's much better at music and production out there that can tell me exactly why that is, but either way, just good job. Like, And so he just wrote this one by himself, and then Sammy. So, okay, about this song, About a Beautiful Dream. It was the last song written for the album, and it was written at home. The song comes from the word xenocene, which is the feeling that as you get older, time moves quicker. I hadn't seen my family in Australia for almost 2 years. I still haven't seen them. Oh, damn. And this was inspired by reliving memories from a child. Has a voicemail from my mom hidden among the music. Oh, I find it difficult to remember anything in general, so I suppose it's about not wanting my most precious memories to fade away. Later on Instagram live stream, he added, it's funny because I feel like the lyrics of one of my favorite songs is a song called Beautiful Dream, and the overall feeling of it makes me super nostalgic just for the nature of the song. Okay. I truly cannot tell you anything about the song. I'm actually mind blown. I mean, this whole scene feels very nostalgic. Like that's the car and the background from the Slip Away visualizer, but it's brightened up now. So like, I know that you guys are like, Alex, shut the fuck up. Like, that's the car, that's the same background, except he's bent over and it's all dark. And now all of a sudden we have light, we have color, we have like 80s nostalgia. Like which 90s? He was a 90s kid, not an 80s kid. Come on, Alex. But yeah. It feels very like Disney princess music, like once upon a dream, you know, like something like that. I feel like my head's gonna explode with this one, quite honestly. Like it's so pretty. Okay, I see it all here in color. It's such a beautiful dream, and I look just like my mother. Okay, I have never known what that lyric said, number one, but the second, I mean, I was not done reading the lyric before I thought of Luke playing the mom in the 10-year anniversary skits and the 5 Sauce SAUCE skit. And that is, I hate my brain for that because it literally immediately conjured up that image. Fuck me. And exactly where I should be. If it could go on forever, I've got some living in me, but I shake just like I'm my father, exactly who I should be. Nothing's coming out right. Can't you stay for a while? Can't you stay? It feels like an interlude. Like it feels like we needed a bridge till the actual resolution of the album. It feels like an interlude to Bloodline more than its own standalone piece. And that's the voicemail from Mom. Saigon is like, I'm still chasing things that I had, but it wasn't in like a kind and loving and like soft with yourself nostalgic way. It was like a fuck, why can't I get that back? And we hadn't explored like just being happy and feeling good about the memories that you had and just sitting with them and letting that be enough. You know what I mean? Does that make any sense? Am I just talking out my ass? And we're going straight into Bloodline.
And I know I'm so far gone, your heart can't keep a vacancy for me.
That melody line is just fucking, it's my favorite song on the album, which is so funny because like A Beautiful Dream feels short. This is a 2-minute song, Bloodline is, but that melody line, oh, be for real.
And And I know I'm so far gone, your heart can't keep a vacancy for me. Oh, only you know how long you got to go. Oh, there ain't no one in the first time. Ain't no one to tell you run, boy, run. Like I should've done.
Damn. And that minor note right there, that just is a game changer. Game changer.
Like I should've done.
The walls are bleeding red. Blisters for scars. Blisters for the scars. And the damage did. So, I mean, like, shit's done. Deed's been done. Hurt has happened. Like, you know, lessons learned, whatever. But the pictures hanging here didn't mean that much until they meant everything. So I guess the memories, I didn't think too much of them until they meant everything. See A Beautiful Dream. Like, I didn't think those memories were that important until they were. I know I'm so far gone. Your heart can't keep a vacancy for me. That shit hurts. Like, your heart can't keep a vacancy for me. What the fuck? Oh, only you know how long you've got to go. See, and I don't know, that pre-chorus is kind of confusing to me because I thought we've already come to the point of like, okay, like we've analyzed Slip Away. So it's like, I know I'm so far gone. Your heart can't, like, it's just too broken beyond repair, I guess. Like him having this introspective journey and like changing his ways. It's too late because she can't, but he doesn't know that. He doesn't know that yet. We've not gone to Come Down, Alex, calm down. And there's no warning the first time. Ain't no one telling you to run, boy, run, like I should have done. Oh, when I can't fight the bloodline. Living in the seams back home. How am I going to know if I'm never alone when I live in the numb and the feeling is gone? I throw it all out the window like it's ever been. The halls are closing in. If I knew from the start, would it change a thing? I think, yeah, so verse 2 is, how am I going to know if I'm never alone? It's not how am I going to know if I'm alone? How am I going to know if I'm never alone? Which, when I live in the numb and the feeling's all gone, I had like a seed of an idea of Bloodline and I was trying to finish it for months and I'd hardly had anything of it. It was the tiny section. This one me and Sierra wrote and she really took over the line because I had no idea what to do with it and she nailed it. Sierra knowing him so well.
It's been a hell of a week. Have I left this bedroom yet?
I have never noticed there is absolutely no intro to that song. Like he just comes right into it. Like it's been a hell of a week. Like it's like kind of like we've just processed all of that in a week. Like
it's been a hell of a week. Have I left this bedroom yet? I'll sleep this life away till I see a reflection I can speak to. With a cold breeze, maybe I can soon forget. I'll wash away the bleach and clear reflections
he loves bleach.
I can see through. All my life I've been beating this horse, breaking these same old wishing bones open.
Everybody very quietly. Look at Sky just staring at me.
All my life I've been passing this blame, and once you get on you won't ever get off and won't be the same. Let it come down on me. Let me see all the things that I was supposed to see.
That piano destroyed that piano.
I was never meant to climb out of like a bursting sunrise from the deepest sleep. I changed your heart in a silver lining down on Camellia Street. Let it come.
Every time I hear the Camellia Street line, like when he played it live in the studio, he was like, yeah, and Sierra used to live on Camellia Street, so that's kind of cute. Like, I think of that every time.
Let it come down on me. Let me see all the things that I was supposed to see. Light up the darkness I was never meant to.
I've truly never heard a song that builds so beautifully from the first second to the last second of the fucking song. Like, it is such a calculated, slow burning, like euphoric build the whole time. It's not, there's no jumps. It's just the whole way. Like,
Climb out of like a bursting sunrise from a deeper sleep. You change your heart in a silver lining down on Camilla Street. Let her come down to me.
that adds so much to the build. Just every section, there's another element. It gets a little bit louder, gets a little more fast paced, but most importantly, there's like another element added. Ugh. Is she on it? Is she on the song? Yeah, she's on. Yeah, she's background vocals on here. Produced by Sammy Whitty and Luke Hemmings. Written by Luke Hemmings and Sierra Deaton. Background vocals by Sierra Deaton. Yep. She's on it. It feels like the first time that this character, aka Luke Hemmings, is owning up to like, I really have been, I've been in this repeated cycle my whole life, but the thing that is different this time is I'm not passing the blame on. Yeah, and he fucking sprayed the mirror down with fucking bleach, and it's like, what the fuck is this? Who are you? Let me see all the things that I was supposed to see. And so in repeat, it's I'm in the dark, tell me what to see. And here in Comedown, it's let it come down on me. Let me see all the things that I was supposed to see. It wasn't I'm not closing my eyes and saying like, I'll open them when you tell me to. It's okay. Like I'll see them whether I want to or not. I'll see them because I was supposed to. Light up the darkness, back to repeat. He was like, I'm staying in the dark. Now it's light up the darkness. Climb out of like a burst in sunrise from the deepest sleep. And back to baby blue was the infant sleep. And now I'm climbing out of the deepest sleep, a change of heart, and silver lining down on Camellia Street. And so literally all of this, the punchline of all of this is that the silver lining was Sierra fucking Deaton on Camellia Street. She was the change of heart and she was the silver lining. And I don't want to be the person to tell you guys that sometimes it takes a person to change another person, or a person to give somebody their like reason to like live and change and do better. But maybe it does. Maybe it fucking does. And it's such a, if Five Sauce is like the world's, is the biggest band that nobody knows of, then this album is like legend status indie album that should have a Grammy, and it never will. It's just beautiful. It makes sense. I'm not like guessing at any point of the narrative, like where we are. It allows people to interpret each song for themselves, but at the same time, I at no point during any song am wondering like, wait, where in the narrative are we at? That doesn't make sense. Like, why does this song go there? Whatever. And that is my perfect album, is like an album that I'm like top to bottom, there is a cohesive story. You can listen to the songs alone because they're that fucking good, but you don't want to. You want to sit down. I want to sit down and listen to this whole album as a whole. You know, I think the only song that I would take away from this album and be like, it is just as good without the surrounding album, is Baby Blue. Truly. And that's not because the other songs are bad. I'm saying I just want to, like, when I want to hear the whole story. It's like reading a novel and then you pick like a chapter that you want to read over and over again. Like, you can't do that. You don't want to do that. It's a great fucking album. I'm probably going to go binge critic reviews and be mad about it. Like after that, that's what I do every time we do an album reaction, is I go look at the critic reviews and then I just like sit angrily for after that and say I should start a podcast about it. This will go on YouTube. Most of them I would be like, tell me your favorite song. I don't want to just know your favorite song. I need you to know, I need you to write me a deep introspective essay about your thoughts on this album, about your interpretations. Do you agree with my interpretations? Were you at any point like, Alex, what the fuck are you talking about? Are you hearing yourself talk? Because the answer is probably, when I go back and edit this, I'm going to be like, are you okay, girly pop? And the answer is probably no. So if you leave me a comment, and I need a essay of a comment. Thank you. caption this. Are you done? Okay, you want to go get food? The Amazon man today told me that she looked vicious, and I was like, yeah. Uh-huh. Okay. All right, guys, I'm going to go feed them. All right, love you guys.